We're in the massage program here on the Wilmer campus. I'm working on my friend here. We're gonna learn all about the techniques learned in this program with massage therapy, so stick around if you wanna learn more. How's that pressure? Is that good? All right, we're here on the Wilmer campus with one of our amazing faculty, Katie, in our massage program, which is what we're going to be learning about today. Katie, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, Max. How are you?
Excited to be here.
Thank you.
So you're going to unpack this program for us a little bit. First of all, let's talk a little bit about you. How long have you been here? What did you do prior to coming to Ridgewater?
Sure. So this is my 11th year teaching here at Ridgewater. I've been on the Wilmer campus that whole time. We expanded our program over to Hutchinson about 3 years ago. So I teach on both campuses now. And I teach most of the classes. We have a part-time faculty member, Jackie Smith, who teaches, but she's also our lab assistant here in Wilmer. And we have a lab assistant, Betsy Soffert, who's over in Hutchinson. My background is I started my undergraduate degrees actually in hospitality management and economics.
Okay.
I know, interesting, right?
Feels like a fit to me.
So I was in the hospitality industry for a while, and then I was like, I really want to do my own thing. So I went to massage school, had a massage practice for about 6 years in my hometown, and then I was like, I feel like I can do more for people. So I went to chiropractic school.
Okay.
So that's where the doctor part comes in for me. I did chiropractic, I did acupuncture as well. And so I did that owned my own practice for about 6 years. And I always, since a kid, have wanted to teach. And I got the opportunity to teach a class here. And then the job opened up as the main instructor, and I applied and got it, and I have loved every minute of it since.
Oh, that's awesome. So, 11 years.
11 years.
Okay, awesome. I have not gotten a ton of massages, so my knowledge in this area is going to be very surface level.
Okay.
So we talked a little bit briefly about there being kind of a foundational area this program is focused around. So what are the kind of things we're going to be learning about today and that the program focuses on?
Yeah, so our program, our entry-level program, which is a diploma, we have two options, but the diploma is the entry level, and that is based in Swedish massage, which is a very broad, general type of massage. It has its basis in particular named techniques as well as the sciences, like anatomy and pathology and things like that. So the Swedish massage basis has names of techniques like effleurage and petrissage, and they're specific ways your hands move on people. And so that's the first semester. We really focus on that, how to put that together. So at the end of the first semester, a student will be able to do a 60-minute, mostly full body relaxation massage. Then the second semester, we start adding therapeutic techniques in because what we're seeing in the industry itself is that it's really viewed as part of people's wellness programs now.
Yeah.
Not as much of a luxury, but really wellness. I make the joke that the number of pickleballers is really keeping us employed well, as because they want to play pickleball, and they're maybe 65 or older, and they realize that the body work is really helping them stay healthier, not get injured as much. And so those therapeutic techniques, the shoulder pain, I have neck pain, I have headaches, I have a rotator cuff issue, those are the ones we tackle the second semester so that our students are really balanced when they are done to be able to kind of choose, am I more relaxation? Do I want to work in a spa or salon setting? Or am I more therapeutic? I want to work on people's problem areas. Do I want to own my own practice? Do I want to work in the healthcare industry for a chiropractor or a PT or something? And so we try to give students as a robust and broad-based education as we can, including, again, those sciences. So we do anatomy, we do pathology, or what happens when things can go wrong. We talk about physiology, how does the body work? And then the kinesiology, which is how does the body move? So I tell students, when you are working on a body, you're not just pushing lotion around. You got to know what's underneath so that you can give a good massage, but also so you know when not to give a massage. There are indications, we call them actually contraindications of, if they have this, you don't want to work on them, at least during that time. If they have a contagious skin condition or they're just ill, you have to be careful with things like that.
Yeah.
As part of the other part of the program is we do some business classes. Again, we want students to feel comfortable at the end of that 2-semester diploma that they could go work for somebody or they could open their own practice. And so we talk about everything from resume writing and goal setting to building a business plan and everything in between. And it's very massage specific. It's not, we keep a lot of it in-house. And so we can relate it and keep it relevant to our students. And this is a day-to-day thing you're going to need to be able to do. And then we have some other classes where we talk about other complementary and integrative healthcare professionals. Like, what is acupuncture? What is yoga? Why would that be good for my clients? What is meditation? I'm really interested in spa stuff. Oh, hey, we're going to teach you how to do ear candling. We're going to let you practice doing a spa body wrap. And then some students are like, no, thank you. I want to work in a healthcare setting. Okay, well, then let's talk about kinesiotaping. Let's talk about foam rolling. Let's talk about other, we try to keep on trend. So we've been talking about CBD products and how do they play a role, if they do, in massage therapy. Just different things like that, trying to keep up to date. Cupping, gua sha, things like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this is perfect. I have like a little bit of a shoulder thing. So if we have time, maybe we get to that later.
Well, maybe.
It makes like a weird click when I go like that. So that's part of that sports therapy area.
Well, that would be very more therapeutic.
Yep.
We try to figure out what muscles are causing the click, and then we would try to work on that.
All right. Well, so we're going to see some demonstrations, it sounds like?
Yes.
All right, let's jump into it. All right, we've got a person, which I've heard is a critical component of this program.
It is.
Yeah, so explain to me what we're doing here.
Yeah, so Becky is working on Betsy's back. We're warming up the back. And again, our basis is Swedish massage. And so there's really kind of 4 main techniques of how the hands are moving on the skin. And so what she's performing now is a technique called effleurage, long, gliding, sliding strokes. And that's the technique we use to warm things up, to cool things down, and transitional strokes. This is part of kind of the first semester work. And then we work into like a type of petrissage, which is kind of a kneading, like think about kneading bread. So this is a little bit deeper, a little bit more intensive, but still it's a part of that relaxation style as well. And there's other components of this of Swedish massage itself. I joke because one of them is actually called tapotment. And if you watch old-timey shows where there's a very tall Swedish woman that does massage, she comes out and does this little kind of like chopping motion. That's a real technique. It's called
That's the only one I know how to do, yeah. Yeah.
It's a real thing. We don't incorporate it a ton, unfortunately, but it's a deal. And so that's another one. We talk about friction. We talk about vibration, other techniques, but effleurage and petrissage really are the 2 main ones that we utilize, at least at the beginning, for the relaxation style.
Okay. And how long would this, like the warming up the muscles, how long does that usually go on for?
So when we work on back, it kind of depends on the body area, but our total time on back is about 20 minutes. And so we kind of warm up for maybe 60 seconds or so, kind of mapping the area. Oh, do we feel some tension some areas? And then we go and kind of work those areas again, using that effleurage, using some petrissage techniques. We'll also show later some of the more therapeutic techniques where we utilize elbows and things like that. But this can be, again, very relaxing.
Yeah.
If you get into the neurology a little bit, we're trying to increase our parasympathetic system,
of course,
which is our rest and digest system, and tell our sympathetic system, our fight or flight, to just take it down a notch.
Okay.
So we're trying to get that balance. And so touch and this can help do that.
That actually makes sense. Yeah. Awesome. All right, so here we are again. This looks very similar. Some difference going on here.
Yeah.
So what are we doing now?
So Jordan is demonstrating some of our more therapeutic techniques, still a part of Swedish massage.
Okay.
But when you have those spots, those knots, those nuggets, that whatever terminology you want to use, and you want somebody to really dig around on those a little bit. That's when we use these therapeutic techniques. Yes, it's you typically increase pressure, but it's also about position. Can you find that nugget? So that feel is so important for students to start to build and get better at. So, but this is where we start using forearms. We start using elbows, and people go, "Oh dear, I'm gonna hurt you." You have such control over the elbow, and you can get right in the right spot. So that hurts so good, but it's like, oh, that's just right where I need the work. That's what this can be. And, any body can kind of do massage. We just have to make alterations or accommodations for tall people, short people, people with some low back problems, people with some wrist problems. There's all these different accommodations to the body mechanics of it that we try to allow anybody who wants to try it, and to be successful at it, and to do it as long as they want to do it, right?
Sure. Yep.
So getting back to that, or talking about that number of hours per week to try to, again, save their body. Part of that is making sure we teach them really good body mechanics so that they don't get injured. They don't have those chronic conditions.
Yeah. And is this something that you do for the same amount of time maybe as the more relaxation side? Shorter, longer?
Typically, it's about the same. That's what we kind of talk about. You have to listen to your client's cues. If they start getting wiggly, maybe you're pushing too hard. Maybe you need to move on to a different area. And I joke that I have students say, "How's the pressure?" Well, if you're familiar with Minnesota Nice, everybody's going to say it's fine.
Yeah.
And they could be lying. So I say you have to ask a question. Is there anything I can do about the pressure that would make this better?
Sure.
Should I increase it? Do you want it a little bit less? Everything's good. It's not a no pain, no gain situation. It's what's best for you, right, given at that moment.
Yeah.
We try to listen during our consultation to the clients. What are their concerns? What's been bothering them? And then we try to translate that into how can we help them.
Okay. Awesome. And then after this, we're going to look at arms and feet, right?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
All right, sounds great.
All right, so now here we are.
Yes.
What are we looking at here?
So Angelina is doing an arm massage, again, part of that Swedish massage basis, relaxation style massage, covering arms. So a lot of that effleurage, those long sliding, gliding strokes, working on different muscles, bicep, tricep, deltoid. We see quite a bit now with mousing and tech stuff. So we're seeing forearm work, and we're seeing, and people love some work on those areas, the hands and the forearms. So we do concentrate a little bit on this area as well. And again, it's just part of the relaxation process.
Yeah. Tendinitis, would that be?
Yes,
I got a little something. I got a thing here.
Geez, a little tennis elbow.
I think it might be.
Mm-hmm.
Falling apart.
Also known as lateral epicondylitis, if you really want.
That's what I usually call it, but yeah, I didn't know if you'd know it by that name.
Well,
Awesome. And so how long would something like this go on for?
We usually do arms for maybe 4 to 5 minutes total.
Okay.
Again, depending on the consultation. If somebody says, I'm having pain in my hand, I can't pick up a jug of milk, I have some tingling in my fingers. Again, we don't diagnose as massage therapists, but we can look at, from our anatomy knowledge, what could be causing that? What are the muscles that I could do something about that might be affecting that? So there are conditions like thoracic outlet syndrome, carpal tunnel, but some of the areas that have that maybe tingling or pain, it could be related just simply to a tight muscle. And so being able to look at that, kind of put our detective hat on and figure out where we can find that imbalance and work on it.
Yeah. So for when a student starts, let's say in the fall, from what we saw with back, 2 different versions of it to this, I mean, do they kind of learn it all at once, or does it you kind of get to the arms at a certain week?
Exactly. So it's like building a house. And so for about the first month, it's all classroom stuff. We got to know some anatomy. We need to know the basis of Swedish massage, the names of these techniques, get that base knowledge. Then probably the end of September, we start with head, face, and neck. Then we add arms. Then we do head, face, and neck, and arms. Then we add back. So then we do head, face, neck, arms, back. That's an upper body massage is what we call it. Then we learn chair massage as well, which is kind of a an incorporation of back with a little bit different. Then we learn lower body. So we learn legs, feet, and glutes. That's a lower body massage. And then we smash it all together. So these last couple of weeks, students have been doing a 60-minute full body massage. And that is what their final practical exam is that whole thing. Put all together, fit it into 60 minutes with good balance between the areas, not spending too much time on one. Because again, this is this more traditional relaxation style. Let's hit all the highlights type of stuff. Second semester, then we get into, the client's really complaining about neck and right shoulder. Let's move our time a little bit, focus on that some, still hit some of the other highlights, but we're editing out maybe legs so that we can spend more time on their complaint areas.
Okay, awesome. And now we're doing feet.
Feet.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we learn feet as part of lower body. Again, the feet are the windows to the soul, right?
Is that what they say? Okay.
That's what they say.
Okay.
There's a specific modality called reflexology that relates to feet, also to hands, but we're not going to go there. But to feet, that every part of the foot relates to an organ in the body.
Okay.
And so we don't study that per se, but we do talk about it. But working on the feet can really help relax the person. It also helps with what we call grounding. And so there's a study, not to throw research out there, but there's a study that says folks with Alzheimer's and dementia, if they tend to be wanderers, having a foot massage about 2 hours before they go to bed decreases their wandering significantly, like 50, 60%. So this idea of kind of grounding and bringing them kind of back down when sometimes when we're thinking so much and we have all this stress and we're always going, to kind of bring it back down to the feet and feel grounded again. This is really good for that.
Okay, yep. All right, I'm standing here with Becky, Angelina, and Jordan, first-year massage students with the program. I'm curious, what is your guys' favorite part so far?
Getting to work on our classmates. It's a lot of fun getting to get feedback from them. Just a lot of fun all around.
It's been really fun getting to, of course, be hands-on and learn the muscles and where each of the bones are in person. It's different from just learning it in a book, but then to actually be working on someone, that's really cool.
Say my favorite thing so far is meeting more like-minded people that enjoy doing this type of work. It doesn't make me feel as left out in type of situations.
Yeah, awesome. What would you say has been the hardest part so far? Either a technical thing to learn, or whatever, however you want to take that.
For me, probably the pathology. I'm really interested in it, but it's a little more difficult for me to learn.
I would say certain muscles. If you take the glutes, so your butt, it's a big area, and to find a certain muscle to pinpoint it, I mean, it's you might get to it, or you might be just like a centimeter off, and you're like, oh gosh, do I have it? And you're asking the other student, they're like, I think so. So it's still a new concept. So it's been super fun to learn, but knowing you need to know those specific muscles and what's all around it, or if it's a bone, you need to know that. So
Hardest thing for me, I'd have to say, would be getting the timings down for the different modalities of massages, as well as the body mechanics and positioning to correctly be able to apply using my weight instead of muscling it down.
Awesome. All right. And then there's no faculty here. How would you describe the faculty in the program?
They are awesome. They're so willing to help you out if you're doing something wrong or needing an adjustment. They're right there to help you. They're fun. They like to joke, so it's just a really great experience.
yeah, everything that Becky said, I completely agree with. They're accommodating, and they pay attention to, say, if you have something that's bothering you, like your low back or whatever it might be, they adjust to whatever it needs to be to help you be a better therapist. And so it's really cool. They're super chill, super down to earth. So a lot of tangents that, occur in our conversations and learning. But it's just awesome to get to know them.
Can't really add on too much to what they've said. Faculty have been pretty laid back. They help out all the time. Quick to point out flaws to help you correct them. Just easy going.
Awesome. All right. Last question. Any prospective students that are thinking, hey, maybe massage is something I'm interested in, what would you say to them as encouragements or maybe validations that this would be a good field for them to explore?
Do it. At any time in your life, I was in accounting for the last 17 years and I've wanted to do this and it's been amazing. So
Awesome.
Yeah, same thing. Just do it. It can be your career, your lifelong career, or it can just be a side hustle for a little bit, or do it in for Christmas money or whatever. You can do it really any time of the year. And just, it's 1 year of your life. Just devote yourself to it and you get to learn so much. You get to have so much fun. So it's really a win-win.
Coming from a background of a lot of heavy manual labor, trying to move into different careers, massage therapy, even if that's not my sole career I end up with, it is an absolutely fantastic foundation for, say, going into chiropractics, physical therapy, even medical, just because of all the anatomy, kinesiology that you learn. It's a fantastic class.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks for being here all day doing this stuff. We appreciate it, and we're glad you're enjoying the program. All right, here we are again.
Yes.
That was fun.
Cool.
Let's talk a little bit more about the program specifically.
Okay.
So how long does the program take?
So in massage therapy, we actually have two options. We have the diploma program, which is a 33 credit program, 2 semesters. We have only a fall start. So you start in the fall, graduate in the spring.
Okay.
In massage therapy, from a state by state perspective, sometimes they look at hours of education. And our hours of education are 736. Most states that have regulations have a minimum of 500 or 625. So we are well above the huge majority of states that do have licensing for massage therapy. Side note, Minnesota does not. But there is legislation in process, continues to be brought to the House and the Senate to have licensing happen. A lot of cities have licenses.
Okay.
We also have an AAS degree, an Associates of Applied Science degree, that it's the diploma program plus 9 credits of technical electives and 15 credits of gen eds, as well as 2 other classes that they would take that second year. So this is a 60 credit program. It does take 2 years.
2-year program, okay.
Yep. Now, if students have a previous college credit, sometimes that kind of fills in and we can utilize those for some of those courses.
Okay. So 1-year option, 2-year options. Rough cost on the program?
We kind of estimate it to be approximately $200 a credit.
Okay.
And so if you're taking the 33 credits, it's right around that $6,600 for the tuition and fees. Books are about $500 for the year. And then we do require students to buy a table or get a table. Now, if you're going to get a new one, and we talk about what to look for, what not to look for, that runs about $400 to $500. We have a couple of companies that offer student discounts.
Okay.
So, and we talk about that. But so right around in that probably $7,500 range for the diploma for that 1 year.
Yep. And then you would just times by 2 for the 2 year. Yep. Okay. When people come out of the program, they talked about maybe there's a couple different tracks you can go on: owning your own business, working in the medical area, working more in the, what you call that, the therapeutic and relaxation.
More,
yes. What are kind of the roles you see people most, typically go into?
I would say, generally speaking, my students split about 50-50. About half go to own their own practice.
Okay.
And they can they can pick what they would like, more relaxation, more therapeutic. Maybe they will do it out of their home. They might rent a space somewhere. They might rent a space in a spa salon. They might rent a space in a chiropractic office, but they're their own boss. And then about half go to work for somebody else. Still those same areas, chiropractic office, spa salon. We've had several students go into hospice care. We have students interested in working in long-term care facilities for both residents and the staff there. We've had students go work on cruise ships. We've had students go work at resorts. And so it's really kind of a fun, eclectic mix. We've had another group that's really growing is students that have like a personal training background. They love to incorporate both of those things with massage and the personal training. So they work in gyms and stuff like that. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome. So this is probably hard to nail down then, but like, what would be a starting salary range that a student would anticipate with graduation? And does it change significantly from the 1 to 2 year?
That's honestly, that's a tricky question. So I'm going to back up just a half a second and say, massage therapist, industry standard says massage therapists should have hands-on time 20 to 22 hours a week for the physicality of the job. And so beyond that, you start to see problems with things like carpal tunnel or other repetitive motion injuries. And so full time for massage therapists is usually about 20 to 22 hours of hands-on time. That doesn't include all the laundry you're doing, all the book work, the callbacks, the marketing, and all of that. So it is a full-time gig. But if you are working full-time, maybe renting a space, owning your own practice, you're probably in the $60,000 range if you're doing it full-time. But one of the beauties of this is that I have several graduates, many graduates each year that say, I'm looking to do this out of my home, part-time, while my kids are in school, I'm home, I want to work 10 hours a week. And that's exactly what they want to do. And so this flexibility, this make your own hours, this piece of it really speaks to them. And serving people, helping people, like that's, people come in, I say, why'd you pick massage? I just want to help people. And can you imagine not being happy to go to a massage? Really?
And I think you said earlier it's on both campuses.
Yes.
What days of the week does it run each campus?
Great question. So we learned something from COVID is that there are a little bit of our lecture classes that can be done via Zoom. It is what we call synchronous, which means you're watching me talk and we're taking notes, and that's on Mondays for both campuses. And it's late afternoon, evening. So we start class at 3:30 and we end at 8:30.
Okay.
Built for kind of working people, right? Wilmer continues that. So in Wilmer, our lab days are Wednesdays, 3:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then we have class on Saturdays, 8:30 to 3. Again, working people with families, other obligations, it works great. Hutchinson, again, that same Monday time because we're all together on Zoom. And then they are on Tuesdays on the Hutchinson campus, 10 to 3:30. And then on Fridays, 10 to 4:30.
Okay, awesome. All right, last question. If I am a prospective student interested in this program, what is my next step?
I'd say reach out via the website, fill out the form that says, hey, I want some more information. Call the front desk, say, I'm interested in massage therapy, or really go to town and fill out the application. It's free. Pick massage therapy, and then you'll get on my list, and then I try to follow up with you. We have great people in our admissions department. They can hook you up. I invite students to come on, meet with me in person via Zoom. I can give you a call. We have an info session coming up usually a couple times a year, so you can always look at that as well. But we're always wanting to have students come meet us, see our space, and ask us the questions that you have.
Awesome. You heard it here, guys. If you want to learn more about our massage program here at Ridgewater on both the Hutchinson campus and the Wilmer campus, go to the website, stop by the front desk here on either campus, and reach out, and we'll get in touch with you. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.
We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Max.